has her ways. If you need to leave, she'll also show you the way out. Take a look. Right there, the same 3 doors that you entered through. Give any one of those 3 a good hard push, just like Sandra did. And just like Sandra, you can get out to where the churros are too. It's good to know. I've been watching you, Sandra. I know which one too. All right, who's never been here before? Raise your hand if you've never been here before. Great to have you here. Great to have the alumni back. And in case you haven't been here before, let me explain how we do things. It's called rough sketching. This is the way that Disney artists have been drawing characters such as this for many, many years. They start with a very basic shape. They build on that shape. They carve out of that shape until they've got what they want. And we're going to be doing it without an eraser, but do not panic. I've got some great advice for you. When you start to draw very lightly. If you start out and you push real hard on your pencil and you make a mistake, you can't do anything about it. But if you just butterfly kiss that paper and you make a mistake, like I so often do, I'll just go, oops, and then I'll sort of draw it again, fix it up, whatever is wrong with it. I'll even move over if I need to on the paper. And by the end of it, you lock in just the good-looking lines, and you're going to have a wonderful drawing of a wonderful character from a wonderful Oscar-winning film called Finding Nemo. Why not draw the star of the show? Let's draw Nemo. Are you ready to draw?
Yeah.
He's a cute little fish, and we're going to start by finding the middle of our page. I find it very helpful to go, well, the middle of my page is right there. Now, we're not going to start in the middle of the page. We're going to start a little bit to the right of it. But I'm going to show you guys how to draw a rounded shape. We're going to start with a tall oval. Put your hand up like this and lock your wrist. When we draw circles or ovals, let your shoulder roll around. You're going to get a much smoother oval. I'm going to go to this side of that little center point, and I'm going to draw in a nice tall oval. Okay? So you can see that I'm not moving my wrist, I'm moving my whole arm at the shoulder, around and around, a bunch of times, like 10 or 12 times, and it's still very light, just dark enough to see, but not so dark that it's going to get in the way of my final drawing. Next up, we need to put down some guidelines. This gets tricky for little kids, so moms and dads help them if they need it. We're going to put a guideline that's going to imitate this curve on this side. So I'm just going to pull back a little bit and bring another curve down from top to bottom. Okay? Now we're going to go, let's say, about a third of the way up from the bottom. So that should be, I would think, right about here. And I'm going to put a guideline going across. And I'm actually going to bring this one back a bit, like this, because we're going to be drawing his whole body. It's one of the few characters where we draw the entire character, not just their face. Now that we've got that in place, we can start adding some more details. For example, his back. This is the top of his head, so I'm going to bring a straight line back and down like this. Okay, you can see the shape that we want here. Let's try to get that. Now this one here is closer to that line than that one up there is, so this one is going to come up to meet it.
Try your best, man. I'm sure it's going to be great.
His tail at the back is going to be right here, and I'm going to do what I just did over here on a much smaller scale and draw in his tail, another small oval right there. That looks pretty good. Now that we've got that in place, we can start drawing in some familiar features like his eyes. Nemo is just a little boy, right? And so he's got big eyes that are wide and full of wonder like children usually do. He's discovering the whole world out there, and it's realizing it's kind of a dangerous place. This is the eye line, and over here on his face, I'm going to draw in a nice big circle for his eye right there. And this one, because his face is turned at a bit of an angle, is going to be just as tall as that, which means that tall, but it's going to be popping out of the side of my original oval. And it's going to be another small oval, because of the way his head is turned. Okay? That looks pretty good. I'm ready to commit. I'm going to go ahead and lock those eyes in. So I'm going to slowly and purposefully push harder on my pencil and go around those shapes that I just drew. And I'm even going to go a little darker on the top here. We call this the lash line. So I'm going to build that up a little bit more. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Just like this. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I'll get that lash line in place there. Yep. Pretty good. Now I want it to look like he's looking out at us. So the placement of his pupils is very important. They're going to be right about here. You can see I'm closer to that side of his eye than I am to this one. It's a little more distance there. That looks good. Now this one's going to be another oval right up against the side of the inside of the eye there. My pencil's going completely around here too. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. I think the pupil on the other side is just a little bit taller, so I'm going to push that around. And I'm going to now darken them in, because you always want the eyes to be the standout feature. And that's how you make them stand out, by making them nice and dark. That's looking pretty good. Now that we've got that in place, let's go ahead and give him a little smile. Okay? It's going to be right underneath this eye. It's going to start right here, and it's just going to come across and down, and then stop right there. Right? It's not going to go completely all the way up. It's going to look just great, just like that. Looks good. Now we're going to start adding some more detail to him. I'm going to give him his chin right down here and lock it in right up to that one eye of his. So that's in place. And now we're going to start working on his back and that tail at the back too. I'm just going to go ahead and lock in this line that comes back to the tail and then have it flow right into that oval shaped tail at the back there, like that. This wonderful film was directed by Andrew Stanton, and Andrew Stanton has done some wonderful work at Pixar over the years, including this one and WALL-E, and he has also directed some live action stuff for television, particularly for the grown-ups. You may have seen his work on Better Call Saul, and for the younger crowd, maybe you've seen a show called Stranger Things. He's directed some episodes of that. Very, very talented individual. In fact, he's coming back to Pixar to direct Toy Story 5. He's been away for a little while. He's coming back for that. Now then, let's go ahead and start drawing in the fins. The one that goes up and down his back is called his dorsal fin. So right here, I'm going to bring this on up and then just have it, keep it light and loose. We're going to merge right down here, just above the tail. Okay? That looks pretty good. Just leave it light and loose. And we'll add some other fins. Now this one over here is called his pectoral fin. Right under this eye, and it kind of follows the curve of this side of his face right here. Just like this. Okay? Now, this one over here. Does anybody remember what they call that?
His lucky fin.
The lucky fin, right? It's it's not quite right. So Dad calls it a lucky fin. Marlin, that is. Has anybody here seen Turtle Talk with Crush?
Yes.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out after you leave here. Sometimes you'll see Marlin, Nemo, and some of the other characters from these films over there. I'm going to leave that light and loose. We're going to add a couple more fins. This little one back here under his belly is called a ventral fin, and it's just a little rudder kind of a fin. And then he's got these two that kind of come down under his chin. They're called pelvic fins. Right here and right here, just like that. Okay, those are locked in, and so is that fin. But these other fins, you know what? This one's okay. I'm going to keep this one just as it is. But I am going to make a little change to it. I'm going to put some of those spines in it that you see in fish fins by just flicking my pencil out several times. So now it looks more like an actual fish fin. Now the lucky fin is going to have a little bit of a gouging up here, like that. You can see it almost looks like a little catcher's mitt. I'm going to get that locked in, and we'll give that a few little spines too. Okay? That's looking pretty good. Okay, should we head up here and work on the dorsal fin? The dorsal fin is the one that has the most detail in it. As it goes up from the top of his head, it's going to kind of hook over here, like that. So it's kind of a cane. And then we'll add another little hook behind that one. And now we're going to go on a roller coaster ride. Up, we're going to go down, we're going to go up a little bit, just like that. So you got a little roller coaster ride from here down to his back. That's looking pretty good. We'll add some detail to that too. I'm just going to add some spines here and here, and then put a couple inside and all the way down to the bottom, just like that. He has white stripes on his very pretty orange body. So what we'll do is we're going to start adding in those white stripes. All right? I'm going to start right here. I'm not going to use that line, my original curve line. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit more because we've got one that surrounds his face. It follows that one, but I just want to make it a bit wider than that one would make it. So I'm going to add one to the inside of that. It's going to curl up here and just flow right into this side of his face. This looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and get this locked on in. There we go. This film was, as I mentioned, Andrew Stanton's idea, and he got it when he became a young parent and just found himself worrying himself sick about the well-being of his child. And it gave him an idea for a script. And he came up with the idea, and it turned out to be an amazing movie that darn near everybody found something to relate to in this movie. Wonderful, wonderful movie. Spawned a sequel, but the sequel came out many years later. And that's because one of the stars who provided a voice for this film, a woman named Ellen DeGeneres, was so proud of her work on this film and so proud of the film and the wonderful work by the folks at Pixar that she kept harping them on her TV show going, how about a sequel called Finding Dory? And it took like 15 years, but they finally said, okay, we'll make it. And they did. And you know what? If you haven't seen Finding Dory, it's a really nice sequel to the original film. Let's go ahead and add some more of those white stripes. So this one's white, his face would be orange. The next one is going to be that orange. And it's going to be kind of an S curve. It's going to kind of go like this, disappear behind the lucky fin, and then come out the bottom like that. Right? So this, orange, white, orange, and then I'm going to imitate that line by bringing this one down, this. And then his tail is going to be orange, but there's going to be a little section of it right here at the back end. This would be white, and from here to here would be white. Oh, let's put some spines in that back fin. That's called the caudal fin. 1, 2, 3, 4. About that many would be good. I think we've got all the details. Now all we have to do is give them a little bit more color. And I've got a methodology that I'm going to share with you. We turn our pencil sideways like this, and we use it like a crayon. So let's start right here at the caudal fin, the one on the very back. And you can see I'm covering a lot of ground very quickly, and I'm getting a pretty nice smooth tone. If I want to beef up those spines after I get it colored in, I can do that. So now this one's white, and that makes this one, this stripe right here, it would be orange, right? Clownfish. I'm not very good at telling jokes, as we found out in the movie. And then you got that little ventral fin. I'll make that a darker color. In fact, these pectoral fins too. And the lucky fin. I'm just going to go ahead and hit all the fins right now. There we go. Pectoral fin up in front of him. Now, it was a really neat thing when they made the sequel, Finding Dory, all those years later. Of course, the little boy who was the original voice of Nemo in the original film was much too old, right? He was pretty much a man by the time they got around to making the sequel. But they wanted him to somehow be in this movie too. Well, there's a scene where there's a wild escape from a aquarium that's supposed to be up in Morro Bay, and a truck going down the road carrying all of the sea life on it. The truck driver was the original voice of Nemo. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry I don't, because I thought that was really cool. If you know that was Nemo. I'm gonna go ahead now and put a little more color in the alternating stripes there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and put some color in his face, and then we'll get that dorsal fin on his back. And once we have done that, we will have finished our drawing of a character from a movie that won an Oscar for being the best animated film the year it came out. It made a lot of money because people just could not get enough of this very, very touching story about a father's love and glory, for that matter. I know I watched this film again recently, and I'll tell you, it holds up beautifully. This movie hasn't aged a bit. It's just as wonderful today as it was all those years ago. You know what? That's pretty much it for Little Nemo. I'm going to maybe give him a few little bubbles. And I'm going to sign this to make my mama proud. 2025. All right. How did everybody do? Pretty good? Well, you know what? There's a lot of detail in this guy, and it is not at all unusual for us to run a little long with our classes, which is exactly what I did. But that's good, because it gave you a little more time to get your drawings done. But I am going to have to wrap things up. But did you all have fun? Yes. Wonderful. Please come back to another class real soon. I would love to see you back here. I'm going to take my little fish and swim on out of here. Everybody, have a wonderful day. And until we see you again, class is dismissed.
Big round of applause here. It's Thomas. Thank you so much, Thomas. All right, friends, as of now, the doors on your left-hand side, the same doors you came in through, and your only exit doors are open. Help us out by putting those boards back up against the seats the way you found them with a pencil in the spring. It'll help us clean up and get ready for that next class. Those drawings are yours to keep, so please take them off your boards, take them with you, and as you stand, please make sure to take a look around yourself, gathering up your personal belongings. Check under your boards, check on the floor, make sure you are grabbing everything you brought in here with you. If you need more time to work on those sketches, you are welcome to head over to the Sorcerer's Workshop.